speech, but we can do it tomorrow. Actually, I'll just mention it, but maybe I'll give more details. It's just about the fake registration being required for the e-card. The e-card upon arrival. It was mentioned briefly during the DOT hearing when you're on your way back to when you're traveling to the Philippines, your honors. There will be an announcement in the plane na be sure your e-card is ready. And if you check the requirements, I don't know if the airline send you this reminder. So it happened to my daughters who were coming home from the US. So she Googled e-card to be sure that her, ano yung isang natin, the something pass, the one health pass and e-card. She just wanted to know, is it the same thing? Does she have what she needs? Then it brings her to this site. She clicks on it and it's asking her to pay $70. So it's not new because, as I said, it was briefly taken up. But it's $70. So meanwhile, sasakay na siya ng plane, kinakabahan na siya na magbabayad ba ako ng $70? Mr. President, ilan ang OFW, mga turistang excited pumunta Balikbayan, na sa panic na pabayad. Nagtataka naman ako, kaya that's the reason I want to deliver the speech, pero sana makarry na sa news para ma-actionan agad. DOH is on it, pero nandun pa siya when you Google. It's the first, kasi it's a sponsored website, Your Honor. Nauna pa siya sa government. So I was talking to my staff, sabi nila, normally, yung government website ang nauna. Wala akong notes na, dala ko pa bag ko. So I'm just bringing that to the attention to all. Sana media will cover this. Andito lahat ng kasamahan natin. Bothered tayo by that, di ba?
If you can,
Kawawa
if I
naman.
may, Madam Senator, if you can sponsor the speech and you can give us details tomorrow and
Yeah.
put it in the consciousness of the
Oo.
public, ako ay
Nababahala.
nababahala at nagagalit sa ginagawa nilang $70. When we travel to other countries, wala naman po tayong binabayaran na $70. I think that's
Hindi naman
highway
totoo
robbery,
yun.
especially for our OFWs.
And hindi nga totoo yun. Walang ganon. Fake site to, Your Honors. Fake site.
Fake
Oh, to be clear. Kaya nga dapat yung speech maayos. To be clear, may fake site na dadalhin ka doon na sinabing, do you have your e-card? Fill up the form and just pay $70. Fake site.
Nako.
Walang ganon ng DOH, walang ganon ng kahit
nahack-
anong ahensya
nahack
ng
yun.
gobyerno. Fake, Your Honor, fake. Tapos yung sinasabi ko nga, I'll show it tomorrow, nakalagay sponsored. It's a sponsored site na fake na nanloloko ng tao. So, balikan din natin yung mga na-review natin na, ano, di ba, yan ang sa akin tatanungin mo ko, yan ang economic sabotage. Wala nang pupunta dito na turista, yung mga OFWs natin di na uuwi, nalukong-loko na sila sa ganun. Again, it's not government. Pero may nanloloko and it's our job to alert all government agencies to stop it. I'll deliver it in more details tomorrow. I don't have much more details because it's really just from the personal experience of my daughter na kinonfirm lahat na nung napagkwentuhan namin. And if you Google, anyone here can, ano yun, di ba? Na-take up yan. Sinagot yan ng ating chairman of our vice chairman of finance who was defending the DOT budget na discussion in passing. And then, na-discuss ko rin sa mga anak ko the next day. Tomorrow na lang po. Yes, I will show you the screenshot. I will send you. Niloloko talaga yung mga tao, turista. Hindi ko
And
nga
that
alam
is
kung
why,
hindi pa
Madam,
ma-strike down.
Madam Senator, that's why it's best to just let go of that e-card. You know, if you want to ask for the immunization details of a passenger, the Bureau of Immigration can actually ask it from the passport. They'll ask, do you have your, ano ba yan? Yung, card, ano yung card yan? Yung health, yung vaccine card.
Yes.
You have your vaccine, proof of vaccination. Or proof of RT-PCR negative. Parang
Yes,
ganun.
naman yun.
That's all. Either or.
What I don't know, Your Honor, and I'll discuss it in more detail tomorrow, even in my official trip, yung nag-Korea po ako, sinabi ko naman dito sa inyo and a few other trips, nagulat ako na bakit ba may separate cubicle pa nga si hello, hindi kayo friends? Hindi kayo pwede mag-share ng, kasi ako nung pumasok ako doon sa ibang countries, isa lang naman ang nag-check. Hindi na yung may dalawa-dalawa pa. 'Di ba? And yung immigration na yan, a few days after and then months after na wala ng quarantine, tinatatakan pa rin, nangyari sa akin, tinataktakan pa rin yung ano yun, was it the boarding pass pagbalik ko, ng follow the quarantine requirements. Wala ng quarantine nun, may tatak pa rin silang ganun. Kaya parang talagang hindi ko maintindihan. That will be my privilege speech tomorrow. Heads up lang po because nga, dun sa panloloko na sinasabi ko, ingat po ang public, wala akong sumisingil ng kahit ano ang gobyerno sa fill up nyo ng inyong e-card.
Actually,
Tama ba,
even with the customs declaration form,
O, yun nga.
it still says, Your Honors, Madam Senator Pia, even the custom declaration cards, it still says 10,000 pesos. Anything excess of 10,000 pesos, it's supposed to be $10,000. It's 10,000 pesos. So if you're a tourist, what is 10,000 pesos until now? You see? Oh, so dapat maayos na nila yan lahat. Senator De La Rosa is recognized.
Yeah, Mr. President,
With the permission of Senator.
with the permission of Senator Pia Cayetano, alam mo yung 10,000 pesos, Mr. President, naging biktima ako niyan. Kasi nung bumiyahe ako sa Taiwan,
Labas.
may dala akong 11,000 pesos. At hinold ako ng immigration. Dahil akala nila, OFW ako, na baka akala nila, construction worker ako ba, na pupunta doon.
Hindi
Hinold
ka pa
ako.
senador noon, Your Honor.
Kung pala ako, kernel ako noon.
Okay.
Mabuti na lang, kasama ko si Mayor Duterte noon, yung former President Duterte, bumiyaheng Taiwan, sinabihan niya na kasama ko yan. Nung sinabihan na kasama ko yan, pinalusot ako. Hinul talaga ako 10,000 pesos. Ang alam ko, $10,000.
Yes.
But bakit ginawang pesos?
Hindi pa
That
nila
has to be checked.
pinapalitan yung rules nila doon sa 10,000 pesos.
Dahil kawawa yung mga OFW. Pag meron kang pera 10,000, i-hold nila. So ikaw, mag-abroad ka na, kanila na yung 10,000 pesos.
Oh.
Oh, wala. I-hold nila. Bawal daw magdala ng in excess of 10,000 pesos.
Pero sa
I-hold
ibang
nila.
bansa, ang kanilang requirement is only 10,000 is $10,000.
Sabi
So,
ko nga,
imagine.
alam ko $10,000 yan. Bakit 10,000 pesos? Inuhold nyo ako.
Yeah.
Sabi nila, 10,000 pesos daw.
Mr. President, if I may interject also.
Yes, the majority
Let us just put on record and to make this argument and debates with more clarity, Mr. President. It's not just the requirement. You are not prohibited to bring more than $10,000. You are not prohibited. Only you need to report, Mr. President, and declare that you have more than 10,000 pesos. So that is the rule of thumb, Mr. President. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, I was told that 10,000 pesos, which is ridiculous, Mr.
It's
President.
absurd.
And absurd.
It's
Thank you,
absurd.
Mr. President.
Absolutely.
Put on record.
So, thank you. So we'll be waiting intently on your speech tomorrow, Madam Senator Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. And maybe at the proper time when the speech is delivered, His Honor can also share the other
Yes.
observations we have on our documentation and reporting requirements because interesting po lahat ito. Thank you very much po.
Thank you very much.
Call now. One more. Mr. President, I also would like to put on record, there was a time I was in Dubai and there were several OFWs crying, Mr. President, because for some reason, the airline company is asking for additional requirement, Mr. President, that is only being asked here in the Philippines, Mr. President. We are asking so many items, not only for this one pass, this vaccination card, etc., etc. So I think it's about time that we call the attention not only of DOT, but other government offices. I mean, this information delivered to us by our colleague, Senator Pia Cayetano, is alarming, Mr. President. And can you imagine how many kababayans natin yung naloloko dahil dito, Mr. President? So we really have to be more vigilant, especially yung ating pong mga ahensya ng pamahalaan.
Actually, in the last administration, dear Majority Floor Leader, there was a convergence between the DOTR, the DOH, and the DOT, if I'm not mistaken. The DOTR, DOH, DOT, and DPWH it's a
Convergence.
convergence for tourism. So they have to start that again. I think the 3 or the 4 departments have to work together again to attract as much tourists as we can. So by streamlining the processes, if not removing as much of the processes as possible, yan ang ease of traveling.
Yes.
My ease of doing business, my ease of traveling.
Thank you, Mr. President. The minority leader would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
How about the abolition of the travel tax? Oh, ease of traveling, may travel tax, tapos constitutional right pa, tinatax natin. So we might as well also review that, Mr. President.
It will bring down the
First
prices
time-
of our tickets.
Siguro first and only country in the world that you tax the exercise of a constitutional right. So hindi, di ba? Hindi siya naging right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
thank you.
President.
Thank you.
Mr. President, at this juncture and with the consent of the body, I move that we adjourn this.